Yeah. They couldn't give a fuck about me. Yeah. It's the young one out the old. Matter of fact, it's the young one and the old. So you ain't some wild shit. Realize nothing fucking matters. Yeah, they say they love you. So what the fuck they hurt you from? Promised equality, but now I see it's just false hope. These politicians, hypocritically thinking, and we always allow, cause can't no inmates run this prison, yeah. And now I'm thinking, how can we fix it? Do I spread the truth when I know no one will listen? Do I suck it up, let the world beat me to submission? Do I kill myself and hope this was a better option? Nah, I'm tripping, cause failure's not an option. I may not change your world, but I can change the one I'm living. I'm breaking out this prison where there's no more programming and no more false living. And no more idolizing, yeah, I'm on a mission. You can follow if you want, but I don't allow distractions like lust, egos, and worldly thinking. Why would I wait on your hero that only promised false hope? Why wait on the shit to come in when I can't hold my own thought? These leaders of the world don't give a shit about you. Cause if they did, there'll be no racism, no struggle, no false hope. They brainwash you with all of the media. They pick and choose who they want to lead you so you can follow. But the trail is always led to their vision, not yours. They manipulate you by calling you negative names when you call them out on their wrongdoings. And when that doesn't work, they send their agents of lethal force to harm you and your loved ones and then justify their wrongdoings. And these are the people that you think are for you when they're showing that they are really against you. These are the people that you are putting all of your trust in. The world can only change for the better once it realizes that it's enslaved to. Yeah.
What's up, world? It's all about support, and you know it's my first Tuesday. It's all about support show, and I am so honored to do this interview. I have been waiting to interview this young man for a very long time. I have been supporting him for over 5 years now, and my support have never wavered because he is really a great and humbled young man. He is very respectful, from a real town. He's straight out of Houston, so you know whatever he say is gonna be real. It's gonna be straight to the point. You know what I mean? So I love that about him. Like I said, I have met him before, so my support with him is 100% genuine. We are gonna have Reggie Haynes from YRProductionsTV. If you are not familiar with him, let me give you a little feedback on how I got to know Reggie Haynes. I got to know Reggie Haynes through his web series. I don't know how I started watching his web series, but he was doing this web series called Roomies. And I was like, this is so funny how he just like incorporate the little Muppet thing. I hope I'm saying it right, but the Muppet thing and his like the production, everything was just on point. And I was like, he is so talented. Then I think I was watching Thor or Killer Clowns. I don't know which one came first, but I was like, oh my God, I was into it. Like it was a movie, like it was really out the theaters. I was so into it, waiting on the next episodes to come up. So I was so here for it. Y'all don't know that about me. I be so into them kind of shows, and I like to see young Black people work. You know what I mean? So when I seen him, I reached out to him and I said, I support you. Then I seen, no, this is how I got into Reggie Haynes. This is how I got into Reggie Haynes. His Who is Reggie Haynes documentary. His Who is Reggie Haynes documentary touched my heart so much because I had just like moved out of Houston. So to hear his story and this, like talk about where he had grew up, I had just moved from that neighborhood. So I was like, oh, I can relate. Like, and I was like, he a young man coming up out of that environment and making the best for his life, and he talented. I'm here to support him. So we're going to get right on into this interview because I know that he did a really, really big move that we're going to get into. And, you know, it's kind of the time difference is, you know, a little crazy. So we're going to get into this. Let me introduce you to Reggie Haynes so he can introduce himself. Hey.
How you doing, Queen? How you doing?
You know, I'm so honored. I'm so honored.
It's mutual, Queen. It's mutual. I saw the introduction. I'm honored. You know, we talk. It's always an honorable experience, and I'm glad to be here. And on behalf of everybody who supports you, we're all proud of you for what you've done with It's All About Support Company, with the radio show, and with all the other ventures that you got going on. So much love and respect to you, Queen. And thank you so much for bringing me to the show today.
Okay. So, like I kind of gave you a rundown on how we was gonna go with this show. I told you it was gonna be kind of no holds bars. Of I want my audience to get to know you.
Okay.
Because, like I say, when I support people, I want people to support them genuinely.
Yes,
I don't want them to support them on what they got, who they know. Get to know them and support them genuinely.
Okay.
So let's get to know who you are. Tell my audience who you are, where you came from,
okay,
and what you do.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. So my name is Reggie Haynes. Obviously, it's on the title. But my name is Reggie Haynes. I'm from Houston, Texas. Born and raised. Raised, I would say, definitely by a single mother. Most of my life has been myself, her, and my little sister. And growing up in Houston, everybody was telling me sports, football. I did play football for most of my life. But one thing is that I've always had an interest in film, and I've always had an interest in music. Now, the music came from my family, the Haynes side. Obviously, they are the most talented people that I've ever seen in my life to this day when it comes in terms of athletics, acting, drama, music, you name it. So obviously that was in our bloodline. I want to keep that going. So that's where the music stems from now. The acting and wanting to write and produce and direct and do all these films that came from one day. We couldn't afford cable, so we had basic cable television. There was this TV network called UPN 20. Now, for all those that don't know, UPN is where Moesha, Brandy, Bernie Mac, Eddie Griffin, Jamie Foxx. A lot of people don't know that. With Will Smith, when it came in terms of him directing and producing, that was the first time he got a even though he was big, it's the first time he got a director's job and a writing job to produce and create his own show. There's a lot of people. And I saw all of these Black actors and actresses doing, something that I was fascinated by. My mom pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, son, if they can do it, so can you." So I always grew up with that notion in the back of my mind that I wanted to direct, I wanted to write, and I wanted to, star and act in something that I would create one day. And that's how I got into filming. I've been a part, I've dabbled into some industry in industrial things when it comes in terms of the industry. I'm not fond of a lot of things that go on in the industry. I'm pretty sure, Queen, we're going to talk about that on the show.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
But I did want to just create my own. And obviously, when I was creating my own, many people were coming on and say, "Hey, can I be a part of it?" I don't have a big budget. So I said, "Hey, it's going to be non-profit." They said, "Hey, I just want to work. I just want to do this because this looks like something phenomenal." I brought other people on, and from there, I did the Roomies web series, the House of Reggie's web series. We did short films, and we turned this whole entire thing into something bigger, making it into a TV show and putting it on an online TV network, which I will be relaunching in a few months, the RHTV network. And yeah, that's basically how I got into the whole filming and music and, all the other industries that you can think of. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of who I am and what I'm
he's very talented with his music. Y'all heard the first song that I played, like the songs that I'm going to play today, like the lyrics of those songs, like will hit home. Those lyrics, I was like, okay, what he got for me? But when I listen, because I always listen and I close my eyes so I can hear the lyrics.
Okay.
I
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
be able to
Yes, ma'am.
feel the lyrics and see where you coming from and see what you're saying. Because there's a lot of artists that's out there, they're popular, but they're not saying anything. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
ma'am.
So when it comes
Absolutely.
to your songs, I'm like, he's really talented.
Thank you so much,
And
man. I'm honored.
you can't sleep on talent. And I'm always going to support raw talent, you know. And like I said, your music is amazing. Your acting is amazing. Your whole the
Thank you.
editing, like I be inspired by your editing. I'd
I'm
be like, oh my
honored, Queen.
God, like I know he be in there for a long time doing this because I'm like you put so much into it. Then, like I said,
Queen, if I could,
you're
if
very
I could do it,
respectful.
I can do it. If I could do it, anybody can. And
Mm,
it's not, crapping on myself or belittling myself. It's one of those things to where something that my mom used to always tell me when you're very talented at doing so many things, organizing your events, getting all of these things together, putting together, these shows. It's phenomenal. And the
mm,
thing is that when you really love something, you will do it with no distractions, no interruptions, no nothing. You just do it and you focus on it. You always focus and you stay positive while doing it. And I'm
yeah,
just one of many of our people who are obviously doing what we love to do, and we're showing how much we love to do it in the process. So kudos to you too, Queen, and all the other people out there who are doing their thing because they love to do it and are
thank you
driven by the
so
passion.
much.
So
Thank
absolutely,
you.
absolutely.
So I noticed that you did a really big move.
Yes, ma'am. I
I
did.
mean, I said a really big move, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
From going
Yes,
from
ma'am.
where you were to where
Yes, ma'am.
you are now, and then I'll let the people know where your move was to.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I ain't for me to be putting out people business.
Oh no, no.
But where how did you get there? How did you get from going from Houston
Yes, ma'am.
from Houston? I mean, well, last time when I met you, you wasn't
Yes, ma'am.
staying where you grew up at. You know what I mean?
No,
You
no,
was
no, no, no.
staying
I
in
didn't
a
say right.
really, really, really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, I
Y'all,
was
he
staying
was staying in a really, really nice
I
neighborhood
was
that you know,
staying in
people
a nice
like
area.
to stay in.
Yeah.
He was yeah. He was staying in a nice neighborhood. We don't think black people stay. I'm just saying that.
You're right. Right. I stayed.
You had a nice
Stayed.
day.
I stayed. Yes,
So
ma'am.
how did you go from there to there? Because you know a lot of people when they grow up in that kind of environment, it's hard to move.
Yes, ma'am.
They're and you're young, so that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, like you know what, I'm not my environment. I'm
Yeah.
gonna move.
Well, that's another thing too, is that whenever I was in these environments, uh, one thing I loved about my grandmother, rest her soul, and my mom, they always taught me, no matter where you stay, you always make sure that you take care of it, and you always make sure that the people around you are taking care of it. You always uplift your fellow king and queen who are in your environments,
Mhm.
no matter how bad the leaders of the world try to, degrade you and dump their toxic things and toxic waste into them. So my thing is that when I was in these environments, I saw that obviously I was always wherever I stood, it was clean, it was nice. And then I just told myself, hey, look, let me go ahead and move somewhere where I never thought I could move. And it was an ego driven thing for me because I was like, I can't do this at the age of 23. I can't move over here. And I did. One thing I will tell people right now, and mind you, I'm not an accountant by any means, but there are always phenomenal ways for us as a people to budget our money accordingly.
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, me personally, like the stuff that I buy, most of it is not name brand. Most of it is black owned. Most of it is stuff to where I don't care if people make fun of it or not. I don't try to live beyond my means because I know for a fact when I do that, I am shortchanging myself. Always,
Mhm.
always, always take care of home first in every way, shape, form,
Right.
or fashion, and always make sure that you have savings. So that way, when you're saving up, then and obviously you have enough for a rainy day later down the road. If that makes sense. So that's basically how I got that together, Queen. I just I basically budgeted my money accordingly at the age of I think 20. I'll talk about football later, but I went out on my own, got my first place, moved from Spring, Texas, and then I moved on to another area that was closer to the place where I was working at in
Mhm.
the Woodlands. And then after that, I moved to the UK. And this story for me moving to the UK is basically centered around my wife. I was on a project, and I did a project. I did the script and everything for a project, and it was going to have to deal. It was dealing with me going to the UK. Now, mind you, I had no idea about the UK. But when I met this woman, Miss Nika, I tell you, she stole my heart, and from there on, we talked every single day. And my wife and I were like, well, we can't do this long distance thing. And I said, baby, I know we can't do this long distance thing. So what we did was we got all our stuff together, as far as our means, and we came up with a plan and we executed on that plan. Now, I've never been a husband before, so this is my first time, and I'm definitely enjoying it. And I know it's only going to get better because we are driven to make things work. When it comes in terms of me being a husband, I told my wife, I'm going to be a provider. How you going to do that, Reggie? You already know I'm a hustle my butt off, just like I was doing back in Houston, Texas, in the Woodlands, and so on and so forth. So I'm always about security. So what I did was, one day I was talking to my wife while I was at work, and I said, you know what, maybe I could take this entertaining thing as far as acting and music to the next level. And what I did was I got on the horn, and I went to all these social media platforms, and I went to go look for an agent. Now, there's a well-known agent out there called Brandon McConnell. I have nothing but love and respect for this man. Now, like your typical agent, they're going to be like, okay, send me your music, send me your work, and I'll look at it early, first thing in the morning. So funny thing is, Queen, he looked at my music, he listened to my music. This was late at night, like this was late over here in the UK. He heard my music about 15, 20 minutes later. Oh my God, bro, oh my God, I gotta sign you first thing tomorrow. Oh my God. Yeah, and I was honored by that, and I was appreciative. And then when I got on the phone with my wife and I said, hey baby, I told you I was gonna get an agent, right? She said, yeah. I said, I got one. And that's one of the things right there, is that if I was gonna come over here, I was gonna make sure that I was gonna have some type of foundation for us to fall on or to be on top of, so we don't have to struggle, or we don't have to worry, we don't have to struggle, anything like that. So that's basically how the whole entire move was orchestrated, leading me to where I am today. And I'm very happy. I would be a fool if I was to say that I don't miss a lot of my family out there in Houston, out there in Louisiana, or any other parts of America. But I will say that no matter how far I am, my family knows that I'm just a phone call away, because I know that things are getting very hectic out there in America, and it's uncalled for. There's no excuse for the government and all these evil leaders to be condoning this type of stuff and presenting this type of stuff, and it doesn't need to stop now, but right now. And I hate to see my family suffer. And when I see my family suffering, and when I'm way over here, it makes me feel like I'm in a glass box, and I'm trying to break it down in order to get to them. But every time I hit that glass box, the glass box ricochets and leaves my hand to ricochet, and hits me right back in my face. So I feel for you, family. I love you guys so much. And I know for a fact that we're all strong beings. We are the creators of all. We are the strongest of any kind. And I know a lot of people will get upset with that, but so be it. It's the truth. We are Black. We are kings and queens. And I know for a fact that everything is only going to get better, and now worse for us, because we are, like I said, one of a kind. So jumping off the train, getting back on, that's how we going from Houston. Going on.
Now, I'm glad that you went right into that part.
Of course, yes,
because we're going to get into, because you talked about your family, and we're going to get into where is your mind at being from here, and then moving there and seeing the government and the difference. So we're going to play your song. Since you were talking about family, we're going to talk about your song called "What's Up with Family."
Okay, yeah,
okay.
Sounds good.
Let's get into his song. What's Up with Family?
Yeah. Young Reggie, baby. I know a lot of people got family problems, right? Guess what? Me too. And I ain't gonna put nobody on blast tonight. I'm just gonna tell it how it is. Tired of this, man. Yeah. But y'all know how I really feel. Yeah. What's my family becoming? I wanna reach out, but I feel like they running. I wanna show love, but they think it out front. Give me that look like what you really want, cuz. Oh man, just a family reunion. Since we ain't had one since I was like 7. To be honest, that was my best present. And I like another one before I go walk to heaven. And when it happens, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The youngest in the fam acting out and she cursing. But that's like, check out my generation. They all had kids, now they calling them blessed and stressed. Bills ain't paid, no food in the kitchen. Parents don't help, hope they learn they lesson. Others in the fam just sitting back and laughing at the whole situation. Acting like some hypocrites, wasting all their money buying big cigarettes. But going off to church claiming that they perfect and think that that's the way that they won't burn up in the pit. Man, I can take no more. This fam needs some big change, the box to the show. I just want my fam to know that life is too short and it ain't moving slow.
What's up with my family? Ain't seen y'all since I was a baby. Now to see you when someone gets buried. Man, life's crazy. Look what you did to it.
What's up with my family? Ain't seen y'all since I was a baby. Now to see you when someone gets buried. Man, life's crazy. Look what you did to it.
What's up with my family? Ain't seen y'all since I was a baby. Now to see you when someone gets buried. Man, life's crazy. Look what you did to it.
What's up with my family? Ain't seen y'all since I was a baby. Now to see you when someone gets buried. Man, life's crazy. Look what you did to it.
Wow. I swear that song, I'm telling your lyrics be hitting home. Your lyrics be, I swear they be hitting home.
Yes, man. Queen,
I guess I'm like that too. I moved away from my family and all that stuff. So yeah, I can relate.
Can you hear me clear, Queen? Because I got some people talking about that they couldn't hear me. Clearly, it was going in and out. Is it better now? The quality of my mic?
In and out, but I kind of got with the gist of what you're saying, but I figured it was because of the location.
Okay, it's better now though. Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm sorry, Queen.
Okay.
You were saying about the family.
Yeah, that's why I said those lyrics is like so amazing. Because yeah. Sometimes you don't see your family until you burying somebody. So
that's
you know what I mean? That was such a touching song that I know a lot of people can relate to that song. And no love lost or anything, but as you get older, you kind of go in different directions and stuff like that. So kudos to that song. Like I told you, every time you do a song, them lyrics, I don't know, they just do something to my skin. It's like,
thank you.
Like, what is going on?
You know what? Whenever a lot of I was always the kid who always was respectful, always, yes ma'am, no sir. So a lot of people heard my music for the first time. That was the first time when they heard my thoughts. So when I did that song, there were some relatives I'm sure who were disappointed in it, and there were some relatives who I'm sure who have told me Reggie, that was needed. There was even one funeral that I went to where my mom, was going up to some of the relatives and was singing that song, and everybody was like, "No, you right. He was right. This ain't right." And it's just one of those things where I have been guilty of, cutting off some relatives because I know that they were not going to grow or anything like that. And I don't condone that. I always say that we should always be there for our loved ones, especially in the Black community, because we all we got. So my thing is that when it comes in terms of that specific song, I hated always seeing my relatives at a funeral rather than we just having get-togethers like when I was 5 to 9 or 10 years old, but it's I see a lot of it shaping back up. A lot of people are on their phones. We can get to that later, but this program, it leads you to be hunched over all the time and be in that slave position to where you're always bound down. No, you need to stand up, put that phone away, interact with your loved ones, because like I said, that's all you got.
Especially in these days, they could be here today, gone tomorrow type stuff. So yeah, I totally agree. Like,
yes,
everybody is so preoccupied with so much other stuff when the important stuff is right there. You know what I mean? And then you figure out oh my God, I didn't get to tell that person I love you. I didn't get to tell that person I was proud of them. Anything. I just didn't get them last words. So I totally get what you're saying when it comes to family.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I said, we're gonna get into this heated. I know gonna be a heated discussion. It ain't gonna be heated with me because I be seeing where you coming from. You know, I follow you on Instagram. Let me make sure I put up all his stuff where you can follow him at and stuff because I follow you on Instagram. So I kind of see where your mindset is as far as what's going on. You know, why is my thing not going? It should come up. Hold on. It should change in a minute. But yeah, I wanted to know your thoughts because you live somewhere else. You know what I mean? And so you get to see both sides. Or you kind of saw this side and now you there. So where is it at? Where your mindset at now?
So
and you can be as free as you want to be.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep the profanity down because one day, you know, when I have kids, I know they're gonna look at this and hey, why you so I'm the passion, the profanity, I'm gonna try to keep it at a low. So are we talking about the way that the government is supposed to be providing for the people, and they cut them very, very low, and they gave them $600 instead of $2,000?
Yep, we just right there. You know, I was just like, oh Lord, people is losing their mind over $600 that wasn't benefiting nobody.
So this is where I'm very, 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 very frustrated with the government. First of all, for those people that don't know, I've done so much research on the government. The government is a bunch of, and they're going to be mad at me, I don't care, a bunch of evil-spirited people, inhumane people, who their main goal is to divide and conquer all. When it comes in terms of the people, they are not for the people. They are always against. I am good in that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. How much money they get? 700 billion, 900 billion, however million, whatever. That's a lot of freaking money. And you telling me they get the map out of all of that money, 200 million or whatever. They got 700 something billion or billion left over, and you couldn't get that money to the people. The government is not for the people, because if they were, everybody in this country would be taken care of. I repeat, everybody in this country would be taken care of. Well, dang, Reggie, how is that possible? We got people out here who are lazy, who don't work. You can miss me with that lazy crap. Because if that was the case, my thing is that if you really think of the big picture here, Queen, we live in a society, we live in a world to where the things that we pay for were created by nature, not by man. Oh, men enhanced it. And I'm gonna get to that later. I got a speech for you at the end of this. I got a poem at the end of it. But these things are supposed to be free. These things are supposed to be given. We have people out here. It's only 3 people in this house, and they got 20, 30 some rooms. Mind you, I used to work security, so I used to monitor these people. But you got people out here with no home, with no room. And this is come out here and during a time to where people have lost their jobs. Mind you, there were some people who didn't even have nothing. And you're gonna give me $600 measly. There are people in other countries who are laughing at America, saying, "How are you the greatest country on earth? How is this country great again? How is this country been great? Period." When we have been in a small country like ours, getting paid $2,000 a month, and that's including our children too. So not only for the adults, but our children are getting $2,000. And all y'all getting 600, and it ain't like they paying it every month, Queen.
And then, yeah, I'm like, the sad part is you got that 600 after, like, how many months have went past? So how many light bills have went up? How many food bills? Because everybody don't get food stamps, i.e. me.
Yeah. Yes,
you know what I mean? I.e. me. I don't get food stamps. And my kids eat. And they're home more now eating than when they were in school. So
I was talking to somebody the other day, Queen,
$600 didn't do anything.
Somebody asked me a simple question. They said, "Reggie, how do you think we as a people, how as a people can we get our lives back? How can we become free?" And I said, the same way they took y'all freedom is the same way that you get it back. And I'm gonna leave it at that. People who know, who think outside of the box, saying, who know where I'm coming from, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the only way you're gonna get your food. These people are hulling you. These people have stolen from you. These people have created taxes. Taxes is they're basically they want you to pay them in order for you to be a slave and to work. Now, I'm not saying that every job is slavery, but I'm saying that the way that the economy and the system is running, that is slavery. Because we as a people, we deserve to be free. We are not. I looked it up, Queen. The average human being is not supposed to work more than 8 hours a day, let alone more than 4.5. So they are doubling that time in order for you to be wore out. That doesn't even include the preparation and the wind down time for you to have to basically wind down and prepare for your job that you're going to every day that is breaking you down spiritually. And then on top of that, most people in America, since we all lazy, get a job when they about what, 15, 16, depending on what community you in. So,
yeah.
And the average person retires when they're 60. So you're telling me for almost years, I have to work my butt off to the point to where I am wore down to where I can't even enjoy my retirement. And now I'm looking it up. The whole money that they're holding, the money that they're taking, the tax money, that's going to be gone by the time I hit my 60s. So this money, they're just stealing and stealing and stealing. Mind you, in the government, in the White House and all that stuff, they have money machines. How are they in debt? Who do they owe all this money to? If you got money machines, you could have been paid that off. If you got money machines, you don't have to write a. This is all illusions, Queen, and I'm so sick and tired of it because now they're pissing me off, and I know they're pissing a lot of other people off, and they're pissing people off to the point to where they're just playing games. They're dangling, like they're really playing with people's just everything, and it's not okay.
First it was, oh, give us your vote. First it was, oh, give us your vote, and then you get the vote. I was like, wait, hold on.
And I don't
like,
hate to say
why
this,
people don't want to vote.
I don't say the thing is, Queen, is that you have to realize, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, and I honestly don't care because I'm trying to free as much as I can. When you vote, you have to realize voting, and I've looked it up, voting is a sign of you admitting that, hey, look, I'm a slave and I need you in order to lead me into the right direction. For people saying, well, Reggie, what do we do? I'm telling you, if every single person in this world, Queen, would just really open their eyes and realize what's really going on, and in the snap of their fingers, they decided there is no more government. We don't believe in leaders anymore. We are our own leaders. I'm not talking about stealing or killing in order to receive resources or take resources from our fellow brother. I'm talking about we can spread all this out. We have too much space, too much.
And did you see the new recent thing that they're dangling in their face now? Did you see the new dangling thing they doing in their face now? They told the people in Georgia the way they were going to get the $2,000 if they make sure they go vote for the people in Georgia. I said, y'all just told them that before they got the $600. Now, I'm all for Black people, exercising their right, but don't be fooled when you're exercising your rights.
First of all, like, my thing is that the money that they have, and I can go into money. Let me break down money right quick. Money is an illusion. Money actually has no value. Long ago, we were manipulated and deceived as a human race in order to believe in money and feel like, okay, this is the only way that we could actually purchase things that's already free. So I nip that in the bud. When it comes in terms of money that is owed, though, I am a big firm believer in, okay, if you owe me something, pay me. The government, like I said, Queen, is always supposed to be for people. How in the hell is somebody supposed to benefit off of $600 after being out of work for 9 months?
Exactly.
Or $2,000 after being off of work for 9 months? That is blatantly ridiculous. And for you to dangle this money over people's heads and say, hey, you got to vote in order, that is basic. What they're doing to these people is they're basically saying, I have you I control you, and there's nothing that you can do. And like I said earlier, there is something that we can do. The same way that they taking people's freedom is the same way that you have to get it back, because that's exactly what this is ridiculous. I know a lot of people saying we got to hustle, we got to do all this. How are we gonna hustle when there ain't nothing to hustle for, because the government done stole all the damn money? And mind you, that's the money that we know about. That ain't the money that they possibly have hidden somewhere. Like I said, when you see the truth of the lie, everything starts becoming crystal clear to you in every other way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm not telling everybody out there, hey, just stop doing this, stop doing that. I'm saying open your eyes and really see what's going on out here, because if you don't, you're going to continue to have these people who have no power at all manipulating to deceive you to think otherwise, and that's going to lead you to your own demise. Queen, I've never voted in my life, and I never will. My thing is, I know how the government operates, and they're showing their hand plain as day how they do not care about the people. The government has always supposed to be for the people, and they have proven themselves to be hypocrites every step of the way since they've been in power.
You know, this election really made me feel like that. This election really made me feel like they were playing in our faces. They were making people fight. I mean, the racist was blatantly out there, and I was just like, I can't do this. I can't play this. Everybody being negative, everybody being evil. And then you telling me, the person that brand is all about support and positivity, to vote for the old people that's fighting. When kids are watching this, and kids have to look up to these people and say, well, my mama told me don't be petty. My mama told me don't lie. My mama told me don't steal. My mama told me don't be evil. You know what I mean? So that's where I was like, okay, I can't keep going for these people that's blatantly lying in our face and blatant. I couldn't tell my kids who was the good person or who was the bad person in this situation.
Yes, ma'am.
And why we were voting for certain people when they were both showing their hands.
You know what, Queen? The thing is that, like I said, I just know how these evil leaders work, and the thing is that their main agenda is to divide and conquer, and that's exactly what they're doing. Anybody who falls for those manipulative and evil tactics, we're going to continue to be distracted from what's really going on. These people are going to be in power until the day that we actually, as a whole entire human race, wake up and realize how much they have manipulated and deceived us, and it's slowly but surely leading us to our own demise. We as a people have to realize. You were saying, how can I look up to this person? If anything, our children should always look up to themselves as a symbolic being of what is good. When you say it all the time, all you promote is positivity. I 100% agree, and that's what we need more of. But these politicians have shown that they have no positivity in them whatsoever. They to me,
I feel like they would throw their grandmamas under the bus for a vote for them to get richer. And I'm like, that's not the morals that I teach my kids. Like, you stand in your stuff, like right, wrong, or indifferent. You stand in your stuff. And they were just showing your kids how to lie. and they were like little kids, how you lie and then you hide the stuff, lie and hide the stuff. And I was like, this is not productive to our communities and society.
I feel like it's the time now. The time is now for everybody to just realize that they're their own leaders, and that they're their own guys. They're their own. They're the people that they need to start looking at. Like I tell people all the time, when you look in that mirror, you always be proud of who you are and what you see, especially if you know that you're not negatively affecting anyone or anything else in the process. I was telling my wife this the other day. The weakest people in the world are the ones who have allowed evil to creep inside of their being and take over and lead them to spread that evil behavior amongst their fellow human beings. But it's positive people like yourself, Queen, who does not allow this evil to get into them and who abolish it before it even comes close. And that's what we need. The more and more
remember I was telling you. Remember, I was telling you when we talked, I was like, how people were trying to get me to go and be in certain arguments and stuff just to get my numbers up. But I'm like, that's not me. I am so positive, and I want to see past the negativity, and I want to see people grow. So I'd rather for my numbers to grow really slow and let people know I'm genuine with my support. I'm very positive. I want my positivity to rub up on the next person. I want people to be able to unite and support each other. So the negativity thing, I'd be looking at people like that it's just not me. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. But that's just not who I am. And I won't I won't jeopardize who I am.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care who I'm cool with, who my family is. I just won't jeopardize who I am. And that's what I try to teach my kids and the people, my kids, my friends, and people around me. I'm like, don't worry about your family, because we all got loud family. We all got maybe some criminals, some drug addicts, whatever. But it don't have to define you of who you are. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always the positive one in my family, and I'm okay with that. Like, I am so okay with that. They always gonna say, "Oh, she the girl that support everybody," and I'm okay with that. I don't see the negativity in it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So I'm always about how much you want your people to grow, how much you just want, not even just your people, all people to grow. You always want people to grow, people to educate themselves, people to win, and I'm inspired by that. So I really take my hats off to you for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Queen. And the feeling is definitely mutual. And like I said, we as a people, and we had a comment earlier, somebody said we got to educate ourselves. Absolutely. If it's the education to where we are knowing who's for us and we are knowing who's against us, and we know how to stay away from those people who are not for us, who are only against us permanently. That's the education I always want us to be filled with when it comes in terms of knowledge and knowing our true selves, knowing how phenomenal we are, and knowing that at the end of the day, no matter what anybody tells you, we control our own destinies, and we are the way of life. Because with the stuff that's happening with all the dangling and stuff like that, the time is not right now for us all as a human race, especially in the Black community, to wake up and realize that we all we got, and we must go our own path, and we must stay focused, and we must stay positive, but at the same time be prepared for evil to try to creep up on you, so you can abolish that like that ASAP, and we'll be all right.
Right. Yeah, I'm always for to tell people, because I used to remember my grandmama always used to tell me, read the Bible for yourself. You said, and I'm like that just with life. You know what I mean? You judge people for yourself. You encounter people for yourself. Don't let other people tell you how to think, how to act. You know what I mean? You know you. And when you allow people to make you be who they want you to be, like you said, people in your family told you football, but you knew what you wanted to do. You knew who you wanted to be. So just imagine if you would have just stayed with football. You probably would have been a whole NFL star and all of that, but you wouldn't have been happy of the people telling you how to move, when to move, what you can and cannot say, especially in this time. I know it's a lot of sports people want to say something, but they can't say nothing because of their money. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've never, like I say, I'm glad you kind of didn't choose footballs. That way you couldn't sell your soul.
You know what, Quinn? You want me to go ahead and get into that?
Go ahead. Because there's some young people that's willing to sell their soul.
Well, first of all, whether it's football or anything, you should never sell your soul. People say, what is selling your soul? We all have a discernment. We have a strong discernment as a human being. We know for a fact, we innately know that it's not good to just randomly go up and kill somebody. The only time that anybody should ever have that notion to kill is when they are in self-defense mode and they know for a fact it's going to be that person and not them, because I ain't do nothing wrong. I'm just trying to defend myself, so I just say a lot. It's the only reason. We all know that whenever something is burning in our heart, something is burning in our spirit, that this just ain't right. That is when you know for a fact you're about to sell your soul. Regret. You do something, you look back at it later down the road, and you say, I should never did that. Selling your soul. No matter who you are, what profession you're in, never sell your soul. There has been times to where I came so close, Queen, and I said I just couldn't do it. I don't know if it was the ancestors, it was probably my ancestors who tell me, Reggie, don't go that route because you're going to live with regret for the rest of your life. When it came in terms of football, I played football, college, throughout, a lot of people didn't know this, but throughout, I played football. My mom actually got me into football when I was young, 5 years old. My mom, a lot of people didn't know this as well, was the first person that ever taught me how to throw a football. For majority of my football career, I was playing quarterback. That's the person who throws the ball. So from high school, I went to different schools. Coaches didn't like me because I was always the one who was outspoken, but I was still respectful, and I was hard working. So if I saw something wrong or that was done wrong by the coaches or by whoever was a leader of this team, I would call it out. Coaches hated me every team I've been on. Queen, I always got embarrassed. So I went to go play college football. And then when I went to go play college football, I was depressed. I tried to commit suicide. I was just done. I just felt like there was just something in me that was saying, Reggie, this isn't you. So throughout my course of playing football, I was in connection with this coach who I met when I was in high school, who was a coach for the Houston Texans. He is a shout out to all those people that's listening, by the way, much love and respect to y'all. But he was a coach for the Houston Texans. And for those that don't know, that is the NFL team of Houston. And we were always never talking about sports or anything or recruitment, because that's illegal. I never did that. And I don't condone anybody to do that. So when I finally got out of football, I started playing in a league called Town Beat. This is a league to where it's no pass tackle football. And this is when I feel like I was in the greatest shape of my life. So then I said, you know what? Let me go on ahead and save up my money and pay this tryout fee, because the Texans weren't doing good. And I was like, it's always been my dream, keyword dream, to play in the pros. For those that don't know, when it comes in terms of a dream, you got to be asleep. You can't be woke when you dream.
That part.
The easiest way to control you. Yeah, so I don't dream. I face reality. But at this time, I was dreaming. I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to live my dream. So when I went to this tryout, I went and I did great, I guess, because the coaches and there were other players who played on the Texans who I grew up watching, were watching me. And they're like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And they put me through all these drills. And I felt like the coach who went through these drills with me, he wasn't going to sign me. So the coach at this time, mind you, the coach who came into the office was a coach who the next year went off to go play. He went off to go win a Super Bowl the next year. He came into the office. He met with me. The other coach was giving me an interview and saying, hey, Reggie, this is what I thought. Coach came in. I said, hey, coach, how you doing? How's your health? Because I know he was having health problems. He's like, I'm doing good, son. I saw you out there from afar, and I thought that you did a really good job out there. He left, and I used my peripheral vision. He winked at the coach, and the coach said, yeah. And then the coach, the head coach nodded and said, yeah. The coach slapped his hands on the desk and said, Reggie, welcome aboard. But I wasn't one of the players on the active roster. I was a player on the practice squad. So for those that don't know what the practice squad is, that's like a player to where you don't play in the games, but you always practice with the team to get them ready for the game. I did some reflecting, did some research. I talked to a few players. There were some things that I never thought that I would find out about the pros. And there was something in my being that said, Reggie, you made it this far. Let it go. And I'm talking to myself all night long. I'm tossing and turning. What you mean let it go? This is a dream of a lifetime, Reggie. Let it go. I let it go. Years later, I look back and I still don't regret my decision to this day. I actually broke down in front of my wife one night because I told her all the things that I and many of my other best friends and teammates experienced while playing football. And I started trying to break it down, just like how I do with the government. And I had to try to break it down to, is this a form of slavery? Is this a form of, something that is hurting us as a human race? And I decided to myself that yes, football was not for me. On my 30th birthday, I'm 28, y'all, I'm 28. But on my birthday, on the December 30th, I had a conversation with my mom and my sister. And I don't know if my mom knew this, but this was the first time I think that I told my mom I hated football. The only reason I played was because I felt like I had no choice. And I felt like I had no choice is when you are doing something that is fun, and then a lot of people start hyping you up and saying, no, man, you can go this far, you can do this, that, and third. Get your head pumped up a little bit, Miss Nick. You get your head pumped up. And that's what I did. And I started taking football way too serious. But while I was playing football, I lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of money, lost a lot of sleep. I have injuries all over my body. My wife, every night she got to massage certain areas. I got to go to the hospital out here. Thank goodness they got free healthcare. Because one of the first things that we were supposed to do when I came out here, this was unfortunately COVID kicked in, so we're on a long waiting list. My wife said you are getting a full body scan to make sure that everything is okay in your body. I have injuries all over me that a lot of people don't know about. Do I recommend football for anybody? People are gonna hate me for this, but I don't care. I am a human being, and I look out for my fellow human being. I would never recommend football for anybody past the age of. Matter of fact, I just can't recommend it, Queen. People gonna say, why not? It has been scientifically proven that a lot of the things that the human body goes through on a consistent basis we're not supposed to do. We're not, like I said earlier, the whole 8 hours a day thing, we are not supposed to do that. But we are brainwashed to think otherwise. So when it comes in terms of football and what I did and all the things that I went through and I see my teammates go through, I wish I never went through. I wish I did. But I will say this about football. Football taught me about discipline. Football taught me about how to always stay in shape. And football always taught me no matter how much your teammates, your coaches, the fans, whoever is degrading you and making you feel like you're not worthy of anything, that don't matter because it's just a game and it's supposed to be for fun. We all know that we live in a world to where life is supposed to be nothing but fun. Life is supposed to be nothing but, free and positive. But we are surrounded by a lot of evil beings who have been cowards and weak people who have been filled with evil, leading them to think otherwise. And that leads us sometimes as good and phenomenal and positive human beings to start second guessing ourselves. Like, dang, am I worth it? Am I not worthy of being, great? We're all phenomenal beings in the world that's gonna blind us from seeing that. And that is one of the main things that football taught me. Because I got bad in every way, shape, form, or fashion. And I always think, no matter what anybody say about me, I know I'm a phenomenal being in the world that's gonna blind me from seeing it.
Yes, you are.
So that's the thing right there that I learned from football. That's the football story.
And it was a great story because, like I said, a lot of young people don't know, you know what I mean? Or a lot of young men is probably going through the same thing that played football. And probably going because they family making them go, or the girls making them think they popping, so they still going. It could be all of that. So to just tell your story, you never know who you're going to help. You know what I mean? We got like 7 minutes left. Is there anything else before we play your last song, your new release that you got going? Because I'm gonna play that song. I'm all here for it. But anything else you got going?
Oh, what I was gonna say is that, like, I'm not here to crap on anybody's dreams or anything like that. But I would always tell people, if you're gonna do something, like, do it because you love to do it. Don't do it because the world has you convinced that there's gonna be some worldly benefits connected to it. Because we all know that stuff comes and goes. But your spirit, your phenomenal spirit, your phenomenal soul, that lasts a lifetime. And I'd rather keep that than anything worldly, if you ask me. So that's what I would say to all of the people who are on the fence when it comes in terms of pursuing their careers, and whether it's football or anything else for that matter.
Okay. And you said you had a poem you wanted to read?
Yes, ma'am. So we closing the show. This is it. This is it for this.
We're gonna close the show with your poem, and then we're gonna let you introduce your last song. Because it's your new release song.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, ma'am. So this is pretty deep. I wrote this in about 5 minutes. Yet a few days ago. It's called "You Want to Be Free? Then Follow Me." Evil beings have enslaved those with no mind of their own, strip you of your identity, created false symbols like gods, celebrities, and currency. You want to be free? Then follow me. You want to remain a slave? Then stay where you ought to be. Ain't no loss to me. Evil spirits crept into these weak humans, turning them inhumane, leading them to control you and what's left of your brain. The raping, killing, pillaging, yelling, manipulation, all negative things used to control you got you living in fear. Reggie, keep your voice down. Master might hear us. It's all I hear. Now I see clear through the fake and evil leaders with titles, holding up their laws and Bibles. Sources of manipulation led to separation of the human race, who's all on a steady pace to nowhere. I show no fear. You won't trick me with paper used to buy what was created by nature, built by people who made it nicer and bigger, making mindless beings put a price tag on and grant this illusion to the highest bidder. I'm laughing my butt off. It's just a thing. This is all rooted from trees turned to paper. You won't trick me with women wanting for attention, trying to control a man with no soul and only one head guided below the belt, with its main motive being to fill a hole trapped on a woman with no sacredcy for her only to think lustfully, stemmed from the roots of slavery, false love, fake currency, and no guidance to be shown the true definition of what a queen nor a king who is supposed to treat his fellow kings and queens with nothing but respect. To all of my slaves, answer me this. Your master has hired brainwashing humane beings to slaughter innocent beings for resources that are misused in every way, shape, form, or fashion. It has been proven that if you condone evil, if you don't produce action, you are part of the problem. My question is, with all the evil being produced by your slave owner, you don't think you will catch the rebellion of those who open their eyes and realize that the brainwashed slaves and agents who protect the weak and equal oppressors, who cause nothing but disaster, has built an empire that's crumbling faster and faster? It's all of those trapped in this ongoing abyss. I tried to warn you long ago how to free yourself, but you'd rather be an evil, weak-minded slave who deserves all of this shit. If you want to be free, follow me.
Oh my God. Okay, like, send me a copy of that so I can put it on my website. Oh my God. Like, I told you your word.
I got you. And another thing is, so I want to give a special shout out to Brandon McConnell. He's been a phenomenal agent that's why always doing the best that he can to, to put my work out there. Of course, my mom, my sister, and all my Haynes family out there, and all the people who support me in the Black community. And also, I wanted to tell people about future projects that the RHTV network coming on. It's going to be on my website. It's on Wix, Reggie Haynes TV, the Wix.com. And then also, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Tachi. We're working on some projects when it comes in terms of comics. And a special shout out to you, Queen, Miss Nika, for bringing me onto the show. I'm so honored to be here. And for those that don't know, Miss Nika actually came up on my podcast. Y'all be sure to check that one out. She has a link somewhere on her Facebook page, and I have one in my bio on Instagram.
I will post it.
She did a phenomenal job on that show. Y'all check that one out. And as far as Instagram, you guys can reach me there if you want to follow me at The Real Reggie Haynes. That's my Instagram, and my Twitter is at The Real R Haynes. And as far as Facebook, it's just Reggie Haynes, and also my YouTube channel, YRProductionsTV. And I want to give a last shout out to my wife. Love her to death.
Yeah, shout out to your wife for allowing you to do this interview this time.
Yeah.
Shout out for her for letting you do this because I know it's late.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to her.
Yes, man, absolutely. And thank you so much, Queen, for having me on. I had a phenomenal time, and we, on behalf of everybody, we're just proud of everything that you're doing. So keep it up, and shout out to you. Big shout out to you.
I said, introduce your last song called "Life's on Fire."
Life's on Fire. Yes, this is a song that I created with the talented Aisha Russell. She's a young artist from Scotland, and we recorded this song as soon as I landed in the UK. It's called "My Life's on Fire," and you guys take a listen and tell me what y'all think. I think it's deep. I'll be the judge.
Okay.
My life's on fire, burning away. Someone please let the rain fall down and wash it away. My life's on fire, burning away. I can't take this pain for another day. My life's on fire, burning away. Someone please let the rain fall down and wash it away. My life's on fire, burning away. No, I can't take this pain for another day. Oh no.
Reggie. Yeah. Yeah, the world's on fire. Truth to gas, the lies of life. Evil acts blind and ignorant, trying to stay controlling people by manipulation, deceiving laws that try to take our freedom. We're overworked, mistreated, underappreciated by a system that went wrong if none of us existed. The human race is in a constant battle with each other. Scars can't fully be healed when we steady stabbing each other. Instead of calling you niggas, I'ma call you kings. Instead of calling you bitches, I'ma call you queens. Instead of feeding the system, I'ma start a beast. Let it burn to death like it tried to do me. Now the roles are reversed, I know it's hard to see. See you needed some water, you ain't getting a drop from me. Now the roles are reversed, I know it's hard to see. See you needed some water, you ain't getting a drop from me.
My life's on fire, burning away. Someone please let the rain fall down and wash it away. My life's on fire, burning away. I can take this pain for another day. My life's on fire, burning away. Someone please let the rain fall down and wash it away. My life's on fire, burning away. No, I can't take this pain for another day. Oh
Oh man, I told y'all his lyrics is amazing. His lyrics will, man, make you be like, I'm telling you, I was almost in tears and I don't even know why. But that song is amazing. I hope you guys really enjoyed all his music that he put out. The lyrics are so powerful to every song that I played tonight, from Tell Me Why I'm Waiting, What's Up with Family, My Life's on Fire. I really, really appreciate Reggie Haynes for even coming and grace my channel and giving me this interview. Like I told you, he is so educated, so humble and respectful, and I really, really go up for him. I hope you guys support him, follow him on everything that he does. He has a great network that he puts out great content. So please support him, follow him on Instagram. He speaks some real things on Instagram. You know, sometimes you speak on YouTube, they be trying to take your stuff down. So I'm glad that he has another platform that he could be him and say what he want to say and be who he want to be. And I support him through and through. Thanks, Tanya. You love that song. Yes, that song was like, them words was everything. So I really, really appreciate him. I do this because I really support artists. I really support entrepreneurs that really trying to grow in a positive way and have things going. So Support Tuesday, and it's all about support show. It really, really means a lot. I don't make no money from this. I just do this on the strength of my heart. So I hope you guys really enjoy what I do. Make sure you come back each and every Tuesday for It's All About Support show. Sometime I have these shows that don't be on Tuesdays because I have to be accommodating for the artists that I'm interviewing, and sometimes they are available on other days. So if you see It's All About Support show pop up, make sure you tune in. Make sure you're supporting these artists the way I support them. I support them 100%. Like I said, shout out to Reggie Haynes and his whole squad for coming and gracing the YouTube channel and my Facebook channel, because it's streaming on both things right now. I will have it up on the website once it processes through. But like I said, it's all about support. Support somebody. You never know how much it means to them to support somebody else. Make sure you also check out my website. It's called It's All About Support.weebly.com. Even if you Google It's All About Support, it will come up. I put new content up there today of music of the week, and also a blogger to support by the name of Brianna Simone Pettyville. I supported her today. So make sure you're checking out my website as well. And I'll talk to you guys on the next show. Bye.